you that I can see. Bit by bit, your love is slipping away from me. What you done, baby, no, it ain't right.
As I discussed in a recent video, the force of liberalism is strongest during wartime, at least as in the case of a total war. So, it isn't surprising that almost all the examples of the videos on my Gradualism playlist deal with things that first raised their heads during World War II. So in this video we'll discuss another example. We're going to discuss the first instance that I can find of laymen being given the permission to act as extraordinary ministers. This is from a March 27, 1942 article in the Catholic Advance. The headline reads that because of Nazi persecution of priests, Polish laymen were being given papal permission to keep and carry the Blessed Sacrament. With the permission of Pope Pius XII, laymen were permitted to keep and carry the Blessed Sacrament to the sick in Nazi-occupied Poland. Also, it's important to note that at the same time, the Archbishop of Berlin received Pope Pius's permission to give priests in the Polish provinces the ability to absolve penitents collectively without any individual confessions. But regarding the extraordinary ministers, the action was taken at the request of Cardinal Adolf Bertram, the Archbishop of Berlin, because the relentless persecution of Polish clergymen by the Nazis drained priests from the Polish diocese. Other factors that prompted the Cardinal's request to the Pope were the severe restrictions on the Polish priests that were still in Nazi-occupied Poland in the wake of a Nazi decree forbidding German priests to administer Holy Communion to the Poles. The Poznan Cathedral and many other churches were closed, and several of those churches were turned into storehouses. The Polish priests remaining in the Poznan diocese were forced to wear civilian attire and live on the charity of the public. So this suppression of Catholicism in Poland was horrible beyond words, and in that context, this example of gradualism seems reasonable. In fact, pretty much every single example of gradualism on this playlist seemed reasonable under the circumstances. But we should note that there were many other earlier examples of the suppression of the Catholic Church in history. For example, England experienced the bloody reign of Queen Elizabeth. For more information on that subject, please see my video on why Catholics were called rednecks. Another example was when President Calles of Mexico waged war against Catholics during the Cristero War. But despite the many despicable suppressions of the Catholic Church, I'm unaware of any blanket allowances for the use of Eucharistic ministers until Pope Pius XII and the Second World War. If you know of any earlier examples, please post them in the comments section down below. And as we now see with 2020 hindsight, once the genie is let out of the bottle, it's very hard to put him back in. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be back again within a week with another one. But in the meantime, please check out my Facebook page and my Twitter page. Every day I post additional content that you won't find on this YouTube channel. And also, please pray for the church.
Get so disgusted when I try to kiss you. I guess I don't feel you like I used to do. Little by little, I'm losing you, but I can see. Bit by bit, your love slips away from me.